Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In this clip, I am going to discuss William Shakespeare's sonnet number 73. And here we will come to know a number of key facts regarding this poem. Now, the very first information, which is also a customary one that all should know, is this poem, that is sonnet number 73, belongs to the first category of Shakespeare sonnets, which were dedicated to his male friend or fair friend. Now, the title. This sonnet is usually known as sonnet number 73. However, we must know the first line of this poem, that is, that time of year thou mayst in me behold. Now, already we got to know the genre of this poem, that it's a sonnet, and as per its form is concerned, it's a Shakespearean or an English sonnet. Now let's know the publication year of this sonnet number 73. In this regard, we must remember that, like that of Shakespeare's all 154 sonnets, this sonnet number 73 was published in the year 1609. Now, the structure. As per the structure is concerned, this poem is of 14 lines and divided into 3 quatrains and 1 couplet. We know very well that a quatrain is a stanza of 4 lines, whereas a couplet is a stanza of 2 lines. And in Shakespearean sonnets, to be more specific, in this sonnet number 73, here are 3 quatrains, that is 3 stanzas of 4 lines, and 1 couplet, that is 1 stanza of 2 lines. Dear viewers, now we must know the rhyme scheme of this sonnet, that is ABAB, CDCD, EFEF, GG, and this poem is written in the iambic pentameter. Now we must know the very interesting information, which is about the dedicatees. So in this regard we must know that this poem was dedicated to the poet speaker's male friend, who is also known as the fair friend. Now, the mood of the poem. So, the mood of the poem initially is melancholic, but later it becomes hopeful. So, the mood of the poem gets changed. Now, the tone. The tone of the poem is reflective as well as serious. Dear viewers, now we should remember the literary devices which were used in this poem. So, the literary devices included the metaphors and personifications. Now, the themes. A number of thematic aspects have been portrayed in this sonnet number 73. These are the concepts like aging, passage of time, beauty, decay, mortality, loss, and the realization of love. Now, the very interesting information, that is about the season which has been referred to here in this poem, that is the autumn season. Now, the next point is about the symbols and images. The first one is twilight, and it stands for the time of day and refers to the end of life. Next one, yellow leaves. It symbolizes the last stages of life. Next, bare brows. It stands for the emptiness of old age. The reference to night symbolizes death, as well as the concept of darkness also refers to death. And the reference to sleep again stands for death, and it has been referred to as the death's second self. Dear viewers, now let's learn some of the very interesting facts regarding this poem. This poem is about the short lived nature of time. It shows the poet speaker as a thoughtful or meditative one. Initially, the poet persona becomes pessimistic, but then he becomes hopeful. This poem also refers to the realization of love. And at the same time, we must remember that this poem is different from the same poet, sonnet number 18, which is also about the concept of love and mortality. This poem is also about the concept of mortality, and at the same time, it shows the poet speaker's desire to love and to get loved. Dear viewers, now let's learn some of the key facts of quatrain 1. The first quatrain makes a reference to the autumn season, and it has been used as a metaphor for constant aging. And here the poet speaker becomes thoughtful and at the same time philosophic regarding the concept of death. And here in this first quatrain, the poet speaker realizes the imminent coming of death, as death is the inevitable fact of the human life. Now, move on to the second quatrain and learn some of the key facts of the quatrain 2. Here is a metaphor of twilight, which symbolizes the certain ending. And here the concept of sleep has been described as the second self of death. It also highlights the passivity and eternal rest. Now, the third quadrant. Let's find out what key factors are there in the third quadrant of the poem. Here, in the third quatrain, the poet speaker mentions the fire, which symbolizes the last dying embers or life. He also mentions the ashes, which is also related to the concept of life and death. So, dear viewers, you must remember that all these metaphors which have been used in the quatrain 1, 2, and 3 all together refer to the concept of ending and death. Now it's the turn to know something else about the couplet. The couplet, or the last two lines of this poem, put the focus on the idea of love that becomes stronger amidst mortality. So, on the one hand, the poet speaker becomes thoughtful about the imminent entry of death, and at the same time, he becomes hopeful about the love, and he also wishes to get loved, and at the same time becomes hopeful to have the love from his beloved. So, this way, the ending of the poem, sonnet number 73, is a hopeful one, because, after all, at the end of the poem, the poet persona becomes very much hopeful, keeping in mind the concept of love that he desires to get from his beloved. So, this is about Shakespeare sonnet number 73. Shortly, we'll come back with another engaging lecture on the topics of history of English literature. So, till that time, please stay tuned to my channel and also like, comment, share, and subscribe to it. Thank you.